What is going on, my people? Yes, I am back, everybody. Gonna wait for some people to jump on here, but I'm really excited to get back to going live. And do I got some things to talk about today? Yes, I do. So I'm doing things a little bit different this time, as I'm actually going live with my desktop versus my phone, because I wanted to see ultimately the difference. You know what I'm saying? Wanted to see kind of what's really going on. So please share your feedback. I know some of you guys have been actually giving me feedback on my sound, and going live basically with just my phone has been a journey in itself, because the sound I don't believe was exactly as good as it could be. I don't even know if I'm live right now, to be honest. So let me know if I am, because this isn't, not sure this is working. An error occurred. Let's see if this even worked. I don't know. Do not believe it worked. Says I'm live. Am I live? Let me know. Let me know, people. Am I live? Oh, technology. You gotta love it. You gotta love this. Yeah, I don't believe I am live, but let's double check here. There's only a couple ways to find out. So I'm going to do that. So I appreciate you guys staying and waiting. This is almost like a test, because I can't tell if I'm live or not. It says I'm live. And it is. Okay, bam. Okay, so we're good. We're good. Okay, perfect. All right, so with that being said, let's get into it. Let's get into it a little bit. I appreciate you guys jumping in if you're still with me after that little technological snafu, but hopefully you are. And first, I wanted to touch on the fact that I haven't been able to go live in the last two days by design. Not premeditated by any means, but when I say by design, I mean ultimately I went through a healing event. And that is something that goes along with doing a challenge like this, energy efficiency. Like, my body is so efficient in its energy right now because I've been eating majority. I've been eating 100% fruitarian, 100% raw. That just allows my body so much excess energy to clean and heal the body internally. So being it was day 24, my body was like, hey, we got enough energy. Let's do a deep cleaning. And that's exactly what happened. So day 24, I just was not feeling well at all. I started to get a headache, right around here, sinus pressure, right, mucus. My nose started to get stuffy, and my adenoids were inflamed, like severely inflamed. And as the day grew on, it just got heavier and heavier and heavier, and ultimately resulted into a heavy healing event. Had trouble sleeping. Throat started to dry up a lot. Like I said, the adenoids were really inflamed, and just got rid of a lot of mucus at the end of the day. Day 24, pretty much throughout day 25. And then day 26 is today. I feel a lot better. Not 100% there, but a lot better. But that is the main reason I didn't go live the last 2 days, because I wanted to give my body, number one, give my body the as much energy as it needed. I didn't want to expend any energy here talking and, my voice and whatnot. And just the whole process of doing this is just energy. And I wanted to give my body the full gamut so it could get rid of everything it needs to get rid of. And so I sit here today on day 26, pretty much at the end of this healing event, which was warranted and well received by myself. This is kind of what I wanted to happen. And but it's starting to subside. So I'm going to, give you guys an update on all that. But so yeah, getting rid of a lot of mucus. That is a beautiful thing, because the body doesn't need that mucus, right? So mucus is created, for the sole purpose of protecting the inner terrain from acidity, over acidity within the body. And once that mucus is not needed anymore, it has to be eliminated. And unfortunately, since most of us on our diets are constantly eating over acidic food, acid forming foods, toxic foods, and not to mention just toxicity in general from house cleaners and, just all that stuff, like your body never has a chance to eliminate the mucus because it's constantly needed inside to protect the inner terrain. So when your body does, get a rest and is able to conjure up enough energy to finally get rid of it, you're going to go through healing events. And that's what I did. And body released a lot of mucus and I'm feeling a lot better. So that is the caveat. You know what I mean? That is a part of it. When you do a challenge like this, when you start transitioning to raw, when you start eating better, this is one of the byproducts. This is one of the aspects of, transitioning to a raw diet or going full raw. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people will get to this point and they will turn around real quick. They'll be like, oh, something must be wrong, because that's how we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned to look at sickness as a sign of something I'm doing is wrong. Well, actually, I shouldn't even say that. Let's backtrack. We look at sickness as something we get from somebody else. That's the first thing people look at. Oh, I must have got a bug, or I must have got it from somewhere. Totally not the case. Totally not the case. All sickness, all disease is is internal. It's from the inside. So once you get that first concept out of your mindset, then you look to the next thing. Oh, well, if I'm changing up my diet and now I'm feeling sick, I must be doing something wrong. But it's the total opposite. What's happening is your body is eliminating, right? It is detoxing. And that is a positive thing. You want to go beyond that, because once you get beyond the detoxing, you'll feel better than probably you felt in a long time, because you're getting rid of a lot of excessive waste that is built up within the body, right? And, this type of detoxing, it comes in so many different ways, obviously, with all the different symptoms that we all experience through life. And they've just been named certain sicknesses. But, whether you're dealing with a cold, or you're dealing with something a little deeper like a fever, or you're dealing with like severe diarrhea or anything like that, it is your body. The only signal it's giving you is that your body needs to eliminate, and it has the energy to do so. So that's been my last 3 days, really. I've really just been resting. I didn't do much of anything. Just kind of laid around and watched some movies, TV, and eliminated. You know what I'm saying? And eliminated as much of this stuff that I possibly can. You can probably tell by my voice. I'm sure you can tell that my voice is a little bit different than it usually is. But ultimately, that's where we're at. So I am testing this out, doing it this stream route versus on the phone, and just to see what the difference is. Now I know, and you guys might not even care about this, but I do know that when you do it on the phone, then you're automatically put into the, what is it called, the YouTube Shorts section or whatever, and people could just kind of stumble upon your live. So that is one difference. So I will know that, okay, if nobody really jumps on, or not too many people jump on, that might be a reason. But hopefully, people want to hear an update, and it is Saturday night as well, so who knows. But ultimately, I'm just here sharing where I'm at. I'm looking at today's day 26 is pretty much over. So we got 27, 28, 29, and 30. So we got 4 days left of the 30-day Fruitarian challenge. And I'm excited and happy, not because it's about to be over, but because I truly accomplished everything I wanted to do on this challenge. Like, I could stop today and know that I accomplished what I set out for. I I reached my goals. And my goals initially were, number one, to get myself back on track. And that has definitely happened. And I know that because I can tell how I feel each day, and know that even after this 30 days is up, I'm going to be back to my high majority fruit-based diet. I mean, 85 to 90% of everything I eat is going to be raw, whole fruits, leafy greens with a sprinkle of nuts and seeds here and there. Like, I know that's going to happen. Like, I'm back on track. I feel that. I can tell by what I want to eat every day. Could I continue going on this raw thing? I could, but we're all on a different journey, and I'm not necessarily there where I would be 100%. And I'm not sure if that is in the cards for me, to be honest. It could be. It depends, because what I do here as an eat coach is I'm trying to help people get to the transition. I'm trying to get people off meat. I'm trying to get people off processed food. Like, because I'm speaking to the majority of people out there that are like, don't even understand how the body works, right? And much love to all my people who are on my level or even beyond me. Like, keep doing what you're doing and share your light to people, because I share the knowledge that I've learned and understand, that maybe you might not know, but keep doing what you're doing. But the majority of people that I work with, are at a different level, right? They're in this phase where they just want to do something, and they don't understand how they can get healthy and making those initial transitions. And that's who I speak to. I shouldn't say that's not only who I speak to. I speak to everybody, but that is what my content is focused on, while sharing knowledge of the gold standard. The gold standard is the fruitarian diet, because we are frugivores by nature. There's no debating that. So when I share the gold standard, and even to myself, right, I've experienced that. By being a high majority fruitarian. 85 to 90% of what I eat is fruitarian. The other 15 to 10% is going to be a cooked meal here and there. But I understand how the body works and how it detoxes, and how I need to operate to keep myself in the right space, to keep myself on the journey towards health. Now, if we're talking about severe, serious ailments, things that, high chronic, even subacute to chronic things that I'm experiencing or anyone's experiencing, then yeah, you need to be more aggressive with it. You need to implement the gold standard 100% of the time, so you can ultimately heal from those situations, right? With some fasting as well, right? Fasting, not my expertise. I would refer you to someone like Lauren Lockman, who is like the king, just the gold standard of fasting. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's about making those incremental steps in the right direction. And that's what, I help with. That is my philosophies as the eat coach, focusing on energy efficiency, avoiding acid forming foods and toxicity, right? Implementing these things to where, raw food is outweighing the amount of cooked food that you're eating. So you can make those transitions that for the majority of people are more realistic. In a perfect world, will we all be eating the gold standard? Yes, but we are in a very imperfect world. So for me, like I said, I feel like I accomplished everything I wanted to do, because I'm back on track to where I wanted to be. And on top of that, I've lost about 12 pounds, right? In this, 26 days, I've lost 12 pounds. I don't necessarily know what the final count's going to be. It probably will go down a little bit, because these last couple of days I haven't eaten nearly as much, because, I wanted to give my body the full gamut of energy. I thought about fasting yesterday, which I could have, but I was, from the day before, like, I was pretty hungry, you know what I'm saying? So I did eat some grapes, but that's all I ate was grapes yesterday. As you can hear me there. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of where it's at. That's kind of where I'm at with everything. And like I said, I feel like I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish in this challenge. And for all of you out there who have either joined in or have done your own challenge, props to you. I would love to hear where you're at and how you feel accomplishing some of the things you've accomplished. I was doing this with my wife. She's in there right there with me, day 26. Her best friend had a few slip ups, but overall really good. And her mom had a couple slip ups too, or one or two slip ups, I'm not sure. But overall, you know what I'm saying, to do it with people like you guys and people around me, in person, like it helps so much more. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that we want to do more often, so, and I was thinking, it's funny because I was just thinking about how we all go through these dietary phases and how it impacts us when we go eat out, right? So I was just thinking, like, before I was a vegetarian and I would go to a restaurant. Like I had the whole menu at my disposal, right? I could eat anything on that menu, right? And sometimes the menu be too big. There's just too many choices, right? You just look at the menu and you pick whatever the hell you want, and you don't really worry about anything until your body starts deteriorating. You know what I'm saying? But you kind of have the full gamut of everything you want, right? So then, I was thinking, okay, so, and people go through this phase, okay, well, you know what, I'm not going to eat red meat as much. So then you go to the restaurant and you start looking at the menu and, you still feel like you have a lot of choices because there's no red meat. You're not eating red meat, but there's still chicken, there's fish, right? There's, just other options, right? Turkey, whatever. And then you give up. Then you decide, you know what, I'm just not going to eat meat at all. All right, so now it's changed a little bit. You go out to eat, right? But while the menu shrinks a little bit, you still have a lot of choices, right? You're not eating meat. Maybe you're only eating fish now. So you still have fish and you have some other items there. So you kind of have your go-tos, right? The menu's smaller, the options are less, but you still have your go-tos, right? And then you decide to give up fish and go vegetarian, right? Okay, so now the menu's gotten small, right? But you still have the things that you like and you look forward to, versus having so many options that you almost confuse yourself, right? So, you get to the vegetarian aspect and it's like, man, I got my go-tos. Oh, we're going to this restaurant. I know what I get. I know what I like, right? And you kind of have your go-tos. What happens when you start to transition to more raw is that you start associating, especially when you don't eat cheese and you don't really eat anything associated with animals anymore, what people would call plant-based, vegan, right? Like you start associating restaurants with like one particular meal, unless it's a vegan restaurant, of course. So it just changes the dynamic of the way you think about eating out. Whereas before, you had everything at your disposal at a restaurant and it was almost too much. I would almost say you, in a way, take for granted, the items on the menu because there's so many to choose from, all the way to, man, I associate that restaurant with one specific item. And you start to, like, in a way, appreciate that particular item versus having the whole menu at your disposal. And when you're like majority raw and you go out to eat maybe once, maybe twice a week, it's completely different because like then it's a very intimate relationship with that meal or even that restaurant. So I know, a random Tuesday, we're going to go out to eat and I want to go to this Thai restaurant. I know that there is a specific dish that I'm going to eat there. And it changes the relationship of actually going out to eat because it's a way more intimate versus yeah, I just want to go to this restaurant and whatever I'm feeling, you know, I'm going to choose off the menu and eat it. It's different. I'm telling you, it's a very different dichotomy, a very different relationship to food when you do it that way. It's more mindful in a way as well. But I just wanted to share that because I was thinking about that earlier today. Because when we do go out to eat, like we have our specific places, because where we're at, there's really not a lot of vegan places unless we go like deep in the city. And, you know, we ain't trying to drive all, you know, it's like an hour out for us. We're kind of out in the country. But, you know, we have our spots and, you know, we associate those with like a specific meal and that's it, you know. And it's just crazy how that's changed. That entire relationship has changed from before when we used to eat whatever we wanted to now to where we're a lot more selective in what we want to eat, you know. So just something I wanted to share because I thought it was very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But anyways, let me know how the sound is for you guys. Like I said, it's a big test for me because, you know, I want to go this moving forward. I want to go this route versus the phone route just because of the sound. I know the sound was not really coming out the way I like it, you know, on when I was, you know, utilizing my little portable mics. And these are fantastic because when I actually do videos with these sound amazing, especially if I'm on the go. But with the lives, for some reason, it just didn't come out right. And I think it had something to do with upload speed and something like that. And remember, I'm out in the sticks. So like, you know, our internet's only as, you know, as good as it can be. So going live on my phone and then uploading it, it's not going to be the greatest quality. So overall, but we'll see how that works out ultimately. But today, as far as what I ate today, I had about 1.5 pounds of grapes right at my daughter's soccer game today. And then we went out to eat. Afterwards, we went to the Thai restaurant I was talking about and ate a salad and these little lettuce roll thingies. And then I had a smoothie, right? So that's kind of where I'm at for today. Not really that hungry anymore. I can't say that. It is, you know, it's what, 4:30, 5:30? What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. Let me see. 5:30? Might eat some dried mango. That might be it for me today. And then I'll shut it down. And then we get ready for day 27 through 30, right? So, and just finish this bad boy off, you know? Finish it off. I got a lot of great videos coming out, some great ideas. Mainly, me and my wife, we just made a recipe of fully raw pumpkin brownies. We never made it before. We were doing it for the first time on camera together, first time on camera. So I haven't even edited the video yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come out pretty cool for you guys. And we want to do more of that. So keep throwing us ideas. I know one of our followers asked for raw lasagna. So we're going to do that. But we might actually do some more raw ideas for Thanksgiving. So if that's something you're interested in, let us know in the chat. And, you know, we're going to get on those. So we're going to try to pump those out in the next few weeks because Thanksgiving is going to be here before we even know it. So, yeah, we want to do that and kind of get that. We're going to create a playlist for that on my page, you know, for you guys to get into. And also shout out to everybody who has pre-ordered my book, Detox Yourself. Thank you for all the support. I'm telling you, this book is a fantastic guide for you. When we're talking about detoxing the mind, body, and soul, all right? Because they all work in conjunction with the other. They are all symbiotic. And if you don't work on one, you're going to have struggles in the other. They all work together, right? So make sure you pick that up. The link is actually in the description. You can pre-order it now. It releases January 28th. But if you pre-order it, you get it early. And you get an autographed copy from me, and you'll get a behind the book audio podcast exclusive to people that pre-order it, right? For free. that goes deeper into each chapter, right? Because I wanted the book to be a very simple and streamlined book. All right. I want you to be able to read it with ease, be able to refer back to it at any time, and to really give yourself a wake up call and a real push towards, man, what you need to do to ultimately get to creating a healthy life. Right. But the podcast will go deeper into the elements within the book. Right. So to me, it's like a must have, in my opinion, because I'm the type of person, I want everything, right? I want to go as deep in that rabbit hole as possible with you, if I'm reading a book. So it's just a perfect complement to the book itself. So yeah, check that out. You can get the physical you can pre-order the physical version, or you can get the ebook, the e-reader version, or you can get both. You actually save a little if you buy both. So if you're someone who likes to take a copy with you places, but also want it for your Kindle or whatever, there's that option as well. So definitely jump on that. Other than that, we just got a lot of things coming up. I shouldn't say working on. I've completed a course that I'm going to be offering called Natural Nutrition 111. I'm just working on the filming of it. It was initially going to be a live course for people to jump in and us interact live, but I've decided to make it a video course for people, because I feel like that just works better with people and their schedules and things of that nature. So once I get that filmed, I'm going to be putting that out on my website, so you'll be able to do that. So you can really, really learn the fundamentals of how the body works from a nutritional aspect, and really get to learn about the EAT philosophy, which will ultimately help you in whatever you're trying to do, right? The goal is creating a healthy life. That's what it's all about, and a big aspect of that is diet, and learning how this energy that we're receiving from our food is actually working for us or working against us. And once you understand that baseline, that concept, that foundation, it literally changes every choice you make when you eat, right? Because you're consciously looking and thinking about what you're inputting into your body versus just doing it, or looking at food as entertainment or communal and all those different things, which they can be, but that's not their main focus and their main goal. So that's something you're interested in, hit me up on the comments as well. I can make sure that you get the information about that course. Like I said, and this is a tentative name, but right now it's Natural Nutrition 111. Which, allows for us to expand on it and create some more courses off of that. So 2026 is going to be a big year of pushing out like a lot of different content, different options, from courses to ebooks to physical books to podcasts to documentaries, like the whole nine, the whole gamut. It's coming in a big wave. All right. I'd be interested to know if any of my followers are subscribed to my streaming service called 𝐾𝐨𝐲. Now, 𝐾𝐨𝐲 is a streaming service I created in 2021 off of well, let me break it down. This is what happened, actually, okay? So I had a YouTube channel for my podcast that was called Minds Like Minds Podcast, right? And we talked about everything from spirituality to, consciousness to society to health. We kind of covered a lot of different things. It was a very free thinking and truth seeking type of podcast. And, it was during the time I'm talking about, the pandemic. And I did a show that I uploaded on the YouTube, and it got flagged and got our channel pretty much put on probation. So at that time, I decided, I'm not going to allow anybody, any corporation, to stop me from sharing what needed to be shared. So I created my own streaming service called 𝐾𝐨𝐲. 𝐴KASHAFLIX.com. And I got with a number. I can't remember the exact number. I think about 7 or 8 different content creators in different realms. I had a metaphysical doctor. I had a professional psychic medium. I had a mindfulness coach, a Reiki practitioner, and an energy healer. Chef, my best friend chef, he's a chef. I had a mindset coach. I don't know if I said that already. And what else? Who else do I have? I had an astrologer. I had all these different, people, different modalities, all upload their a fitness influencer, all upload their content on this streaming channel, all exclusive. Like you couldn't get it anywhere else. And there are over 400 or roughly around 400 videos on there that you can check out. There's series, there's videos on pretty much anything underneath the conscious realm, right? I really kicked my podcast off. I think I have over 100 episodes on there talking about different things, interviewing different people. So just a plethora of content, right? So that streaming service, it's $7.99 a month, and you can, like I said, you subscribe to it and you get access to apps, to everything. I got one of my documentaries on there. I even have, what's that documentary that got banned? It was about COVID. Oh man, I can't remember the name of it. I should go look it. I'm gonna look it up right now because I cannot not know what that is. What is that called? Going on 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭 now just to find out. What is it? Died Suddenly. Died Suddenly is on there. I'm sure you guys have heard about that. If you haven't seen it, it is on 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭. And that one's actually free. You don't have to actually pay for that one. That is free content. We got some free content on there. But ultimately, like I said, I created it because I didn't want to allow, any corporation to dictate what I wanted to say, and getting flagged like that, was really an eye-opening thing for me. I did not want to. What's going on, Will there be one? What's going on? Appreciate you jumping on. Yeah, it is interesting. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, all that content is still on there. And the reason I'm bringing it up now is because it's something that I've kept running, because as more content that I create comes out, I always need a place that I can talk about certain things that I might not be able to say on YouTube. Now, there's nothing really going on right this second. I started a series called Rethinking Cancer that I started on there, that I will be adding videos about, because I can't really talk about cancer on YouTube the way I can on this platform. You feel what I'm saying? So like I said, for all my followers and subscribers who enjoy the content that I share, I just wanted to let you know I do have another avenue of content. And like I said, there are for myself personally, I know I got over 100 videos of my content on there. And that's, from all different types of content as well. So if you get an opportunity, definitely check it out. It is really cool. You can actually purchase the entire library if you want, like all 365 videos. You can download to your computer, your TV, whatever you want, and have it forever. It's called 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭 Forever. That bundle's available for you if you want. But if you just wanted to stream it, and just have access to it for as long as you want, like I said, it's $7.99 a month. What is the yearly? And it's been a minute since I actually checked it out. Let's see here. And there is a free trial as well. 3-day trial if you want to check it out. But $74.99 for the whole year, or $7.49 a month. I'm sorry, not $7.99. But anyways, but yeah, definitely worth checking out if you're interested in that type of stuff. The content is heavy. There's so much. If you're into learning shit, like from an educational standpoint, it's almost a must, you know, because like I said, I had all kinds of different people on there, man. Jasmine, the medium, who to me is like, you can see on Minds Like Minds, I've talked to so many different mediums and psychics and, you know, mind readers and things of that nature. To me, there's nobody better than Jasmine. And then there's Joanna Crowder, who's a metaphysical doctor. Like when it comes to understanding like the stars and understanding like how metaphysics works in our lives every single day, there's nobody better than her. And she breaks down the Bible like nobody would believe. Like people don't understand the coding and what the Bible truly talks about. She breaks that down there. And then my podcast, Minds Like Minds, like me and my best friend Chef, we started that thing and we kind of went on our own journey. Like Minds Like Minds is what ultimately put me in this seat right here. By going through that spiritual journey, that conscious journey, I figured out where my place needed to be. And that was in the natural health realm. And it was through that podcast that I got here. And you can see the evolution, right? You can also see the physical evolution of what I look like before getting on this journey till now. You'll see a difference there too. But yeah, you should check that out for sure. Just wanted to share that to everybody. But that just goes hand in hand with 2026 and what it is going to entail from a content perspective. Another aspect is going to be, I'm going to be going live a lot more. I'm going to be going live probably 3 days a week at least, maybe more, with a series called Detox Yourself. And we're going to be diving into everything under the umbrella, from understanding how the body works to sickness to different types of sicknesses and what they really mean, to, you know, transitioning to a raw diet, to concepts within this book, to Q&A, right? So I'm going to be taking questions constantly, and from all my comments, because I have, you know, a lot of questions in my comments. Like all my comments I'll be making live episodes based on those comments. And then if you're on there live with me, you know, we'll have live Q&A there and live discussions. So it's going to be real interactive, you know, and just anybody's place to vent if you need to vent, to ask questions, to learn, to be a part of something that is for the betterment of humanity, because that's really what this channel is about too. We're in the transition of finding a place to live outside of America, because there's going to be a lot of discussion on that. So just a real conscious place to hang out, man. So that's what the lives are going to be about. And then obviously I have my regular videos and whatnot. So I appreciate everybody who's just been a subscriber and a follower for everything I do. And I really do. It means the world to me when I hear these stories of people transitioning their diet or changing their diet. It just, man, it hits me right here, man. It even gets me emotional. So thank you for that. And I just continue doing what I'm doing. So I'll say this before I jump off. You know, this 26 days has been an interesting journey, because, you know, I've done this before, but I've never done it to where I shared it with you guys pretty much every day, right? So it's like I'm not doing it by myself, and I'm not doing it for the purpose of just myself. And to me, that's why this one is so much more impactful. So I do apologize for not being able to jump on the last few days. I had to do what was best for my body. And obviously that's what's going to come first, you know. But I wanted to make sure I jumped on and gave everybody an update on what's going on, where I'm at, how I'm feeling, and I feel good. Mission has been accomplished. I got a few more days to ride out the string. And then we'll see what's next. All right. We'll see what's next. But I appreciate you guys jumping on and hanging out with me. Make sure, you know, obviously I'm going to plug it again. Make sure you get this bad boy, pre-order it. Link is in the description. Detox Yourself, the secret to freeing your mind and creating a healthy life. Release date January 28th. All right. I appreciate everything. You guys be good. And